Welcome to the State Bar of Texas podcast, your monthly source for conversations and curated content to improve your law practice. With your host, Rocky Deer.
Hello and welcome to the State Bar of Texas podcast, brought to you in partnership with the Legal Talk Network. This is Rocky Deer, your host, recording from the 2018 State Bar of Texas annual meeting in amazing Houston, Texas. We're having a great time. You might be able to hear that buzz in the background. That's the annual meeting taking place. You know, I've got a really special guest today. I've got somebody I've been looking forward to meeting for some time, and I think you're going to enjoy meeting her as well. Her name is Donna Serdula. Donna, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here. This place is really amazing.
It is jacked, right?
It's happening.
It's to the max. I know. This place is epic. Now, for those of you that want to know who Donna is, I suggest you go onto LinkedIn.com and look up Donna Serdula, which is actually going to be rather circular because Donna, this is a name I just gave her. Okay, so you guys are going to hear it first. We have dubbed her the LinkedIn Queen.
Oh, I love that.
Right? You kind of get into your inner ABBA, right?
Yeah.
Now the song's in your head, right? You are a LinkedIn Queen. I promise I will never sing to you people again. All right. So Donna, tell us about your journey. How did you become the LinkedIn Queen?
Well, I joined LinkedIn back in 2005, a long time ago.
I didn't even know it was alive in 2005.
Well, in fact, I'm not even an early adapter. It started in 2003.
Wow. Okay.
So it was out there for a little while before I joined, but I did what a lot of people do when you join that social network, that professional network. They presented me with my LinkedIn profile.
You took selfies with your food, didn't you?
I did. I uploaded great looking selfies. No, what I did is I copied and pasted my resume into the profile.
Oh, wow. And is that bad?
It's not good because I leaned back and I was like, okay, opportunity, come and hit me. I'm ready. And nothing happened. And LinkedIn seemed like this huge waste of time.
I've heard that before, but then people are still on it.
Yeah,
so.
well, there is opportunity. And so what I started to realize is that everyone says it's your online resume, but it's not. This is your digital introduction. It's your first impression. This is where people go to look to see who you are. Before a meeting, before a conference like this, people are checking you out. They want to know who you are. And this is where you can tell your story. You can brand yourself. And so I started to really use LinkedIn as that engine for building my brand. And once I did that, I started to find amazing success. And it was from there that I thought, there should be someone out there writing LinkedIn profiles for people. And that's what I started to do. And it's now years later. I started in 2009. I have 30 writers with me, and we write LinkedIn profiles. I've written over 5,000 for professionals and executives all over the world.
Okay, so I'm looking you up on LinkedIn as we speak.
Yes.
Okay, it's the first time I'm looking at your profile here. So it says, okay, interesting, writer of powerful LinkedIn profiles.
Yes, as opposed to weak and boring.
Or just saying writer of LinkedIn profiles.
Yeah,
You're using the word.
These are important words.
And then you're saying help you stand out. So you're putting stuff in all caps and putting that out there.
I'm also using symbols and bullets.
I've noticed that. But you're still putting your experience almost like in a resume format where you're going chronologically in reverse chronological order. You've done that on here.
Well, here's the thing. That's the structure of the profile. So it starts with your profile picture.
Right.
Right underneath is the headline.
Right.
It's almost like a headline in a newspaper. It should compel a person to understand who you are, what you do, and it should compel them to click, to open the profile to read more.
And you know what? I just realized I did something rude. So if you want to follow along with me and Donna, go onto LinkedIn.com, type in Donna, spelled the usual way, Donna, Serdula, Serdula. So
Yes.
S as in Sam, Erdula. So let's
Yes.
follow along with this.
All right.
Okay, let's do this. So you said first you got the profile picture, very nice profile picture.
thank you.
Although I must say, even more impressive in person.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. And if you want to see her in person, go onto the Texas Bar TV channel, which is on YouTube. You go to youtube.com, type in State Bar of Texas, and you'll be able to see what Donna looks like. Well, not in person, but on screen. But you get the idea. Anyway,
Close enough.
Very impressive person we've got here. All right, so you got the profile picture, and then your name, and then you said
There's
the
the headline, yeah.
Okay, tell us about the headline.
Now, the headline follows you all over LinkedIn. So if you are active on LinkedIn, if you are sending out invites, if you are recommending people, all of these things, if you're active on LinkedIn, that headline follows you.
Okay.
And it shouldn't be the default, which is just your job title and your company.
Attorney,
yeah. But it really should be who you are, how you help. What is that benefit statement? What is it that you bring? to others. And if you do it right, it should cause a person to go, that's interesting. I want to read more about this person. Then they clicked to access the full profile. After the headline, that's when we get into the good stuff, because that's the summary, that's your digital introduction.
Right,
and then
right.
from below that, that's where we go through that trajectory of experiences that does look like a resume, but it doesn't have to.
So how would it differ from a typical resume? So like I'm looking on yours, you don't have bullet points under your experience.
No, I'm not looking for a job. So you always have to think in terms of, what is your goal?
Okay.
Not everyone is on LinkedIn because they want a job. Some people want clients. Some people want to brand themselves. Some people want to do it for reputation management.
So like on here, you're putting founder, owner, and LinkedIn profile writer. So I guess that's where you're telling people what you do.
Yeah.
So you don't need bullet points.
Right. And here's the thing. With LinkedIn profile writer, those are the words a person would be searching for to find me.
So there is kind of an SEO component to this.
Absolutely an SEO. So if you want to be found, because here's the thing, not everyone knows that you exist. I know you might think they do, but they don't.
But I'm a big deal.
You are a big deal. But that's the thing. If people are searching for big deal, let's make sure we put that into your
make
profile.
Sure that I show up. Big deal.
We want them to make sure. So you have to be strategic. Really know what your goal is. Not everyone is on LinkedIn for job search. If you're on for job search, yes, it makes sense to have more of a resume component, but you still don't want it to be your resume, because what if a person is looking at you for a particular job opportunity? They love what they see on your profile. They love it so much they say, I got to get this guy's resume.
Right.
And then you give it to them and it's identical to what they just read on the profile. They're going to be disappointed. They're going to think that's all he does. So you want these things to build. You want them to build. You don't want it to be a direct copy. You want this to tell a story, get a person interested so they reach out to you. To me, success on LinkedIn is always getting off LinkedIn and making real world connections.
Okay, so if I was to read your profile as a story, what I'm looking at is you basically made the jump from being a salesperson into now effectively helping other people sell who they are. Is that a fair adaptation, or am I illiterate when it comes to the story
that's
reading?
a very good one. But you're also skipping over the summary.
Okay.
Which is a little bit higher up.
Okay.
And this is where the real story takes place.
So yeah, like I said, I'm noticing the all caps. I'm noticing you're using the little images and bullet points. Now, for lawyers, I think for a lot of lawyers, we would, as a community, kind of feel uncomfortable doing that.
Yeah. And here's the thing, you need to be authentic.
Okay.
And so when we work with our clients, it's always about listening and talking and getting a sense of who you are. What is your tone? What are you comfortable, saying? And we work with you to develop that content in a manner that works for you. I actually even have 2 lawyers that are writers for me. So that's nice to know that you can talk to someone who has done what you've done, and they get you. But at the same time, with LinkedIn, a lot of people think, let me copy and paste a resume, let me copy a bio, let me write it in third person. All of those things push people away. And this is your chance to make, a first impression, a digital introduction, and really tell a person, because they're qualified already. They want to learn more about you. That's why they're there. So tell them something.
As a profession, as lawyers, how do you think we stack up when it comes to the storytelling and the...
It's hard. I know, and it's hard. I know it's hard for almost everyone, really.
Yeah.
But you have to ask yourself some hard questions, and you really have to figure out, why are you on LinkedIn?
Okay.
What are you trying to accomplish?
Sure.
Who is your target audience? What do they need to know about you? Mm-hmm. And what do you want to say? What is it that you offer? What separates you? That's the story that we need to craft. And I say craft it in first person, craft it as a narrative, and tell them, speak very straightforward. This is what I do, and this is how I help.
So for lawyers, do you think maybe we're a little gun shy about telling those stories and using those tools, or?
I think there's definitely this fear of how far can I go? What can I say? What's allowed? What's not allowed? What do people really care about? And you have to recognize that if a person is looking at you, if they want to work with you, if they want you to, maybe take them on as a client, they want to know they're working with the best. They want to know they're working with someone who gets them, who has a similarity, who resonates. And so you've got to say something. But don't say nothing, say something.
But then does it change based on who your target client is? Because, so for example, if I'm going to do plaintiff's personal injury work versus if I want to represent large corporations.
Yeah, the message is definitely different.
Right? And so if it's different, are the way you tell that story, does that, because, I could see a lot of lawyers saying that, look, I'm trying to attract large business clients.
Yeah.
And if they see the all caps and they see the, emojis or whatever it is that we use to get their attention, they might get a different adverse reaction to that. What's your advice when it comes to targeting your messaging?
I always say that you need to look and say, who is this audience, and let me tell this story to them. What do they need to know? The way I work it, if you do look at my profile, the only things that are in uppercase are just the titles.
Right.
I don't want to give the impression that the profile looks like it was written by a teenager.
Yeah, no, but it is.
Here's the thing. It's just hard. It's hard to write about yourself.
Yeah.
It's hard to see yourself objectively. It's hard to ask yourself the tough questions because there's always something better going on. And that's true for lawyers. It's true for any professional out there. Who wants to sit down and really write about themselves? No one does. But it's important because people want to know, and you have the control. You can control how others perceive you. So you need to take this opportunity. You don't want to let it slip away from you. There is someone looking for you. There are people who want to know more about you. So you need to tell that story, but it's hard to do so. I say outsource it.
Is the LinkedIn profile about who you are, or is it who you want to be?
I always say that your resume is your professional past, but your LinkedIn profile is your career future.
Okay.
It's not just who you are now, but it needs to be written more to that future state where you want to go, what you want to accomplish, how you can help people in the future.
Okay. So, if I said I wanted to be a professional wrestler, and if you look at me, that's never going to happen. Mm-hmm. Obviously, when you're saying who you want to be, it has to be couched in reality, right? It has to be something that you can achieve. I did have a client once, Rocky, that he was working in IT, just doing tech support. Yeah.
And he came to me, he wanted to be a CEO. And he wanted us to write a profile that would get him. And I said, really, the only way that you're going to be a CEO is if you start your own company. That's it. And he didn't want to. He just thought that Apple, Steve Jobs had just died. He thought, hey, I have
There's
a chance. There's an opening.
Sure.
There is this element of, yes, you have to be practical. You have to be realistic. But at the same time, you could have that vision of, I want to be CEO, but what's the next step to get you that much closer? So you still want to be forward-oriented, future-oriented, but let's just take it in steps.
So writing an effective LinkedIn profile is not sitting for 2 hours and carving out time on a Tuesday afternoon. It sounds like this is
takes time.
Process, and you go back and you think about who you are. And
we start with a questionnaire that our clients fill out. From there, I then read it through, and I get them partnered with a writer that I feel is best suited to their background, to their needs, to their goals. So it's never the next writer, it's the best writer for that client. And then they have a conversation. And they talk. It's an interview. And it's really about just diving in and getting that story from you, listening and asking the right questions and taking this information and then turning it into that story, turning it into that trajectory, turning it into that message. And we do that for you. We do all of that for you. And then once we have it written, we take it back to you and say, this is what we came up with. This is what we've created. This is the content. And we review it and we edit it and we make sure it's perfect. And then it's live. And the funny thing is, Rocky, this might sound insane, but the one thing I've found over and over and over again is when a person showcases their best, they attract the best.
Sure.
And my clients always come back and tell me their lives have changed. They get jobs, they get opportunities, they get clients, they get things that they never thought that they were going to attract. But when they start really telling their story authentically in a genuine way, good things happen.
Wow. Okay. So Donna, what's the best way for somebody to get a hold of you? Is it through LinkedIn, or is there some other way?
As much as I love for people to reach out to me on LinkedIn and I'm there, the best thing is to visit my website, linkedin-makeover.com.
LinkedInMakeover.com. It almost sounds like a reality show.
Yes, it could be. I've always often thought that the people that we deal with and the stories we hear would make a great TV show.
Well, I guess if you combine it with an actual makeover.
Yeah. Well, we should do a physical makeover too.
Do a physical makeover and then do the headshot And then that's the start of the whole process.
Yeah.
Hey, I want in on the royalties with this
Let's
one.
do it together, Rocky.
Yeah, let's do this. And
I love it.
And our listeners, they can get in too, right? They're like, look, I want a piece of the action.
They say, call me up. We need gorilla makeovers right now.
That's right. We could use SEO and then do an IPO. This is just
I love it.
mind blown. I'm telling you, this is good stuff. So it's LinkedIn-makeover.com.
Yeah.
And is there an email address or something they need to use?
Well, the nice thing is, once you go there, you'll see a picture of me. There's a big green button. You click it, you see our services, and there's this huge contact button. And I have my phone number all over. And people are always shocked and amazed that when they call, I pick up. But I do. CEO and receptionist.
You never want to lose touch, right?
Exactly.
Although now you're going to need to get a throne and a crown because you are now
I am the LinkedIn
LinkedIn
dancing queen.
You keep throwing. You want to throw in the
I like
dancing
the dancing,
part.
but I feel bad that I think we need a little bit more activity to go with it.
Well, LinkedIn Queen kind of has that same rhythm with the cadence with Dancing Queen. But
LinkedIn Queen.
But you could always redefine it. Tell your story. You're the LinkedIn Dancing Queen.
I'm the LinkedIn Queen. I'm the LinkedIn Dancing Queen.
Or you're the Dancing LinkedIn Queen.
Dancing. Well, there we go.
Yes.
Another reality show right there, I think.
I'm telling you, this is the networks will be contacting us, or maybe it's straight to Netflix. We don't know.
You know what? I mean, if you've seen the Karate Kid,
I've not. I've missed it.
Oh, you've got to. It's pretty awesome. Actually, that's YouTube Red. I take that
back. That's YouTube Red.
Sorry,
yeah.
wrong platform.
Well, what people can do is they can get on YouTube Red, watch Karate Kid, and then they can get on YouTube and look at the Texas Bar TV channel, and they can see you in person.
Perfect segue.
And so they can learn more about Donna. So Donna, thank you for coming. This was
Rocky,
a lot of fun. I know we could keep doing this. I could go on for hours, and I'm sure you've got material that could keep us engaged for a very, very long time. But guys, we are at that time. It has been another fantastic edition of the State Bar of Texas podcast in partnership with Legal Talk Network. Donna, thank you again.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Pleasure having you. Want to thank Donna for joining us. And if you like what you heard, be sure and subscribe. Get into Apple Podcasts, rate us, and subscribe to our podcast channel, either on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, your favorite podcast app, or go on to LegalTalkNetwork.com to learn more about us. Now, guys, thank you for joining us for this fantastic ride. After all, life's a journey. Thanks for tuning in.
If you'd like more information about today's show, please visit LegalTalkNetwork.com. Go to TexasBar.com/podcast. Subscribe via Apple Podcasts and RSS. Find both the State Bar of Texas and Legal Talk Network on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Or download the free app from Legal Talk Network in Google Play and iTunes. The views expressed by the participants of this program are their own and do not represent the views of, nor are they endorsed by, the State Bar of Texas, Legal Talk Network, or their respective officers, directors, employees, agents, representatives, shareholders, or subsidiaries. None of the content should be considered legal advice. As always, consult a lawyer.